Are you ready to make a major shift in the timeline of your life? What has the last 5 years taught you? What has been your biggest life, heart, soul lesson of the last 5 years? Because that karmic cycle is completing now. And as we move forward up to the next few days, from the 20th of January onwards, you are going to notice big changes in your lifestyle, in your routine, in your energy levels, and generally in the direction, the course that your life is taking. If you're hearing this message right now, this is for you. You're very welcome to my channel, The Nameless Ones. My name is Aveen and I am an angel healer. I'm a shamanic healer as well, and I teach meditation, mindfulness, or as I like to call it, heartfulness, soulfulness. I'm a soul therapist. I've been working with people for over 23, 24 years. I also work with people in addiction, in recovery, on the recovery journey. And I receive channeled information, downloads on behalf of the collective. So if you're hearing this message and you're hearing my voice, this shift is going to have a big impact on you. Now, the energy of 2024. It's all about strength. It's about finding that golden wisdom inside yourself, knowing that the old limitations, other people's perceptions, other people's limitations that were put upon you in childhood, in your old life, in your 3D identity, you are being asked to transcend those limitations now. And for most of you, those limitations began as a projection from somebody around you in childhood. But then you took on those projections, you took on those limiting definitions of who you are, and you internalized them. And you began to invest in the voice that says, I can't do this, or I don't have it in me, or I'm not able to manage this or that. So the energies right now are really challenging us to break free, to burst out of the bud, right, and become the blossom. And I want you to know that even though everything is based in energy and spirit, this year of 2024 is going to require a much more practical approach. You're going to be asked to be far more physically embodied in your 5D life, in these 5D frequencies. And it's not going to look like a fantasy. It's not going to, it may not match your ego's fantastical ideas, but energetically it will satisfy you. It will be very satisfying on a heart, soul, body level. And truly, as a human being, you are here to be embodied, and you are here to flesh out on the ground, salt of the earth, terra firma manifestations. We've had a bit of time over the last few years, since 2020, to dream and to vision. And if you've been following my videos, there was plenty of energy updates where I spoke about, this is a time to dream the dream. This is a time to live in the vision. This is a time to explore your imagination, because your imagination, your thoughts, your feelings are building blocks. They are magnets to pull in realities and timelines. But 2024 is asking you to put your money where your mouth is. Just pause there for a moment. It's asking you, if you've been dreaming of being a leader, a teacher, a nurse, a medical intuitive, an animal healer, whatever your dream has been, you're going to have to put the legwork, the groundwork in now. I'm not an astrologer, but I do find that my angel messages often align with the astrological advice, and that seems to be the case with, and I haven't actually looked at the astrology of this year yet, because I don't like to be influenced by outside sources with my information. I want my information to be authentic and pure from my angel team. But I do know that there is some astrological conjunction, I think that's the word, coming up, which matches in with this timeline, because I put up a January energy forecast in early January, and I spoke about how the third week of January was going to be pivotal. The angel said, rest for now, come the third week of January, things are going to pick up pace. You're going to need your energy because it's going to get very physical. It's going to get very busy. There's going to be an intensity to the practical, pragmatic, feet hitting the ground, running energy. And if you haven't felt that yet, I'd say by next week you're going to feel that. Now, this is all quite positive. I don't want you to feel it's not reductive in any shape or form. In fact, the work and the investment of energy and time and practical application, so whether that be you're upskilling, you're taking a course, you're like being promoted in your job, whatever way this shift, this major change, which by the way will affect your life for the next 20 years, I'm told. 20 years, okay? So we're really entering a whole new phase or timeline of our lives. It's kind of like when you go from childhood into adulthood, right? It's the last 20 years are so different to the next 20 years when you hit 20, right? 21, we have that initiation into adulthood. And the next 20 years are hugely different to the previous 20 years of childhood, of adolescence. That's the kind of energy that this has. So how can you prepare for that? Well, be aware of the lessons that you've learned in the last 5 to 10 years. Make sure that if there's anything that needs to be cleaned up now, if there's anything that needs to be said, if there's truths that need to be cleansed and shared and expressed, this is a great time to reach out and say what you have to say. Don't bring the past into this new timeline, because that will just add grit and dirt and shadow to this energy. So it's a very good time to mentally get on board with your attitude, with your routine, with your life. Clear out the clutter. Make space where you need to. If you need to make adjustments, if you need to move, if you need to say goodbye to someone or something, you'll find a lot of support. You'll find a lot of resources to do that now. So a big energy, as I said, strength for 2024. strength and going deeper into being genuine, being authentic, and flowing with these changes. This shift is coming. And I've given this example before in my videos because I just think it really explains how these kind of energy timeline shifts can be so impactful. When you hit adolescence, whether you're mentally prepared for that or not, your body starts to change. Things happen. Same when you get pregnant. You can't stop the natural flow of nature that brings about these changes to get you on the other side of what's blossoming, of what's blooming inside you. So it's the same with this. Now, for some of you, the last week or two may have been rough. It may have been trying. It may have been stressful. But understand that these are teething problems. And just like a child cutting its teeth, it has to experience, well, it doesn't have to, but it can experience some discomfort, some pain, some swelling, some inflammation. It's the same when we make these big changes internally and externally in our lives. So for a lot of people, this will be financial, this will be career-based. For some other people, it will be on a more personal level, perhaps moving away from family or going through with that divorce and moving somewhere new on your own and starting fresh. This energy is beneficial in the long run. Just like the child cutting its teeth, it needs to have those teeth grow in so that it can eat its food and smile and do all the things that its body needs to do to be healthy and happy and to be a fully rounded individual. It's the same with this energy. So this is not a time, I've told you in the past, take a rest. This is not a time for action. There's all different timelines. My angels are saying this is a time to line up with action. Make sure that your actions are coming from a place of love, a place of fortitude, and a place of heart, so that your soul, your heart, your gut is your first brain, right? When you align and you move from that energy, you can do amazing things. And remember, you can do difficult things. You're able to, you're well able to. You can progress through these challenges. And if you're looking for an easy life, you're going to find that people who have everything handed to them, people who are born into privilege, are often miserable. Haven't you noticed that? The people who, when you were a kid and you were looking at the rich, I remember looking at the rich kids, you know, and like at the time, the kids who got to have a holiday in Spain, it was like, wow, they must be so rich. That's what I remember thinking that as a kid. We took our holidays in another county, you know, in a caravan. But you know what? We were really happy. And we had a great time living in a caravan by the beach for 2 weeks with mum and dad and brothers and sisters and all that. So my point is, don't be afraid of these challenges. They're going to satisfy you. And you've got to look at the bigger picture now. This shift is about the bigger picture. It's not about immediate gratification. It's not about instant pleasure. No. This energy is, okay, what am I building here? Because 2024 is about building. We are building things. We are building our lives. We are creating stability. So make decisions that benefit you long term. Have a long term view now. Okay, I'll leave it there. If you resonate with these messages, if you've benefited in any way, be kind and click the like button. Angel blessings.